diamonds are forever. They are all I need to please me. They can stimulate and tease me. They won't leave in the night. I've no fear that they might desert me.
Signed from St Johnstone in 2004, played 222 games, something like that.
Right.
10 goals, winning the Challenge Cup, second division, countless slide tackles.
Yeah.
Plenty of yellow cards, few red cards too.
Yeah.
Welcomes to Diamonds Are Forever, Paul Loveren.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks for giving us your time.
No, not at all, not at all, it's a pleasure.
Good to see you again, it's been a while.
Same, yes. As I said, it's been a bit of a time now we're into management, so aye, it's been eventful, but always good to hear from people for Airdrie.
Good.
Absolutely.
Good. And we're here at New Tinto Park, home of Ben Burb FC. It's obviously a family affair for you. Tell us more about that.
Yep, so my dad used to obviously manage the club. We now obviously own the new ground. The houses were built and replaced the old ground. Okay. So it was time to obviously move on and change the facility, which is going to keep the club in good stead for a few years now. So no, it's, as I said, it was the right thing to do. When my dad came here, I was then asked to take over as manager. So which I duly did. I played a couple of games. At the last kind of end of my career for him, so and I took over, and the kind of rest is history. So yeah, I'm still here after I think that's 7 years. So no, we've did okay, and the new facilities is top of the range. So it's good, yeah, state of the art stuff. So no, it helps.
And you had was it John Boyle and Willie McLaren?
I've had a few. I've had John. I've had Lee Hollis, Willie McLaren. So there's been a few. I've tried to get a few more right enough, but that's the only ones at present. So no, listen, and they all come in at important times for me, which was amazing. So and they all done fantastic jobs as you can imagine. So to get a calibre of player like that was excellent through obviously the connection with Airdrie. And as I said, every one of them came in and done me a right turn.
I guess Alan Russell's a bit too busy modelling or dating models
or coaching England or whatever it is he's doing. So listen, as I said, the guys came in, but as I said, all brought different attributes in their own era. So no, it was fantastic to get them in. So I might see a couple hopefully tonight that are still in touch, as I said, with the club. So maybe they could do us a wee favour one day.
Good. And since you've transitioned to management, have you ever found yourself saying something or doing something and you think, oh geez, I can't believe I've just said that or done that, that's what so and so used to do?
I think it's I think nowadays it's changed. The game's changed so much for when I played, and even year by year you can see it happening. So there's been massive changes in the game. So I find myself probably saying that quite a lot. I don't think, to be honest with you, and this isn't any disrespect to anybody that plays the game nowadays, but I don't think the way we played the game would last a lengthy period of time on the park. So just with commitment and just desire, and I think the kind of the aspect of the tackling and the hard stuff, and the harder side of the game, I think has kind of drifted a wee bit, and moving towards the more technical stuff, sports science and all that stuff has taken over, and I see it with the younger guys coming through just now, so I find myself in that situation probably more times than I'd like to care to happen. But no, as I said, things change and the game changes, so you've got to try and move with the times, and how long that will last, I don't know.
Looking back at your time in football playing, there would have been plenty of ups and downs. I know you spoke to Colin a couple of years ago during lockdown on the OTL podcast. Yeah. What would you say was your lowest point in football, and how did you bounce back? How did you come back from that? Probably
at low point would have been probably actually before I came to Airdrie. It was I'd moved for Ayr, went to St Johnstone, had really great success at Ayr. The time we were there, we had some great cup runs and that kind of stuff. So at St Johnstone, I went up there, and it didn't work out for me in football. And that was just, listen, you get things like that happening. I'd cracked a bone in my foot quite early in the season, and it took me a bit of time to get back for that. But when I did get back, it didn't feel right for me. So fortunate enough we played Airdrie in a bounce game. I think Sandy had asked about me right after the game, but I think Billy had said, Billy Stark had said after it, listen, Paul's still part of my plans. And shortly after that, I think circumstances changed, and it was time for me to go. I wanted to play week in, week out. They brought Jamie McCulkin up there, and it was time for me to go and get a fresh start. So when Airdrie came knocking, I knew Al McManus, I knew the few of the boys that were there, and they spoke highly of the club, and only took me, as I said, one phone call and I was on the way. So it was great, and it just shows you can go from being quite, as I said, not knowing where things are going to go in football to highs that ended up we going on to win the second division and moving to a club that I would be for a long time. So it was, to go and it just shows you football can be that type of game, but that's why we love it. So that's one of probably the most significant change in my career at that point.
I can see you light up when you talk about that second division title.
Yeah.
Obviously the Challenge Cup victory as well, they were both high points. Was there anything across there that stood out as a high point?
I think coming in we played the first game against East Fife, up at East Fife. We won 1-0, wasn't the best of games, but I knew coming back in that bus and the players that were on the bus and the chat on the bus that we had something special. It didn't take, as I said, we had some smashing players, Big Kevin Christie, Owen Coyle, Willie McLaren, Alan Gould, to name a few, Stephen Docherty. So we had a great side, and me coming in, I think at that point, I think they may have been struggling a wee bit for a left back, so I suppose me coming in at that time maybe helped as well. But yeah, I could tell we had quality right through the side, and we just needed that wee bit of luck, and unfortunately for Morton, we went on a run that was that lasted to the end of the season, which was fantastic. So that was a major high point for me, and winning anything in football, as anybody will tell you, is a great achievement, regardless of what it is, whether first division, second division, third division. At that time it didn't matter. So and then we went on to obviously I captained the team that went to the Challenge Cup, so which was amazing as well. So that was fantastic achievement for me, is to be captain, but just to see these young guys coming through and doing so well, winning I think it was the Alba Cup at the time, actually. So as I said, it was a great run. We knocked out a few good teams as well, and unfortunately I got injured in the final and had to come off at half time, but the boys seen it through and got the result. So it was again another amazing high point for me, but and then I went on to stay for a few years. But just in general, the club was a massive part of my football career, and one that I'll never forget.
Obviously in the dressing room you had big characters, David Dunn. I still remember the picture that my dad took of both of you spraying the champagne.
Yeah.
In and around those teams of the 8 years or so that you were with us, what sort of pranks did you get up to? Does anything stand out?
Oh, it was great. It was, as I said, you probably can tell with my face that the people that were in the changing rooms and the characters in the changing rooms were amazing, and every single day there was something going on, you know what I mean, from the old deep heating the boxers to putting the physio's gear on and jumping in the jacuzzi and all that, and his suit and all that kind of stuff. And we done that to Graham Holmes as well. We put his suit on under our tracksuit and we were out rolling about in the mud and all that, and then eventually we took it off, and he didn't know we'd left his suit for the Saturday night, and we'd put that on under our training gear. So stuff like that. It was, listen, as I said, there was millions of great memories within them, and I said a lot of big characters, and there was a few in for a ribbon at times, and wee Willie I think took a beating a few times, a good a week in, week out. So no, as I said, we Mick the physio was there for a while, and I think he was but he listened, as I said, he was part and parcel with about getting the boys a bit at back. So we had some good characters and great times. So I said it was brilliant times.
And I remember you speaking about, was it Magaluf or Magaluf you were away to?
Yeah.
For that sort of team bonding and camaraderie, how big a part does that actually play in the team spirit, the togetherness over the course of a season?
It's massive. It's absolutely massive. I brought it here, so our guys, go to Benidorm. We're a bit old for Magaluf for my coaching staff. So, but it's massive, and I can't emphasise that enough. We done it at Clydebank, and then we didn't do it at Ayr, and we didn't do it. I think we done it once at Ayr, and I think we didn't do it. Obviously, I didn't visit St Johnstone for very long. But as soon as I came to Airdrie, it was Magaluf and Sandy and Kenny and all that. Done it for years as well, and wee Jimmy. So as I said, the first season it was a bit surreal. I was late flying out for whatever reason, I can't remember. So I think the team flew out, and it was a Saturday, and I think the coaching staff and I was delayed for whatever reason, so I flew out on the Sunday as well. And I remember sitting in the first morning, and it was like 7:30 in the morning. I went down to the bottom of the stairs just to put my towel nap in, and it was whatever it was like 17 or 18 or 19 so sitting, and it was like, what's around 20 Heineken, what's around 20 Heineken, what's around 20 Heineken, and that was for 7:30 in the morning till you dropped. So again, in Magaluf there was some characters, and I still actually speak to Dawson as well. His boys here, Declan. So I still have jokes back forward about how we were going to, one year we were going to stay on, and then we got Anne-Marie to book his flights, and then we eventually got to that night and we're like, no, we're just going to go home. And it was just one of the trips. It was amazing. It was a long, whatever it was, 3, 4, 5 days, whatever how long you went was long enough. But again, it's massive. It is. We get through the lower leagues by offering players to come here to get a trip to the end of the season. That was a promotion bonus, and it worked a treat, and we still do it to this day.
And Dawson was another one, along with Will and McLaren, who Anne-Marie ended up getting them bottles of Buckfast for their man of the matches instead of the champagne.
As I said, it's full of characters, and Dawson was obviously, as I said, sitting on the beach with me last minute phoning Anne-Marie, I think we'll stay for another day, could you change my flights and all that? And yeah, that's fine, but she still kept the original ones just in case, and then eventually I think we decided, no, listen, enough's enough. So we'll fly home with everybody else. But as I said, these holidays were amazing, and they're always something to remember. And my boys, but including my own boys, the two of them are here as well. So they've been on the holidays with me to Benidorm, and it's something that we look forward to every year.
You've mentioned some big names that certainly stand out to me of Airdrieonians of that era. How many of them would get into your ultimate five-a-side team? Oh,
that would be.
If you're including yourself at
that would be a big ask. Let me think. There's that many. I would again talking about forwards. I'm talking about guys like Alan Gow and Coyley, and depends what kind of player you're looking for. Again,
Gow's still got it.
Yeah, I think he's coming tonight. He's supposed to maybe come tonight, but I've not seen him. I was through a few years ago, but I've not been through and seen him. So, and I like say again, we talk about guys at the back, like Alan McManus, and then later stages you had Mark Smythe and guys like that, and Robbo in goals, Lee Hollis in goals. So I played with a few good goalies as well. Jerome Varai, another name that you could throw into the hat. So we had many quality players right through the years, and the year that we got promoted was a squad that if we'd have held on to that squad for another, I said this in my last podcast, and I think if we'd have held on to that squad for another year or two, I think we could have easily made it to the Premier League and got up into the Premier League that season. It was just unfortunate circumstances change, and the money wasn't quite there, but that was nobody's fault. It's just that's football. So, but I think if we'd have held on to that squad, I don't think we would have been far away if we put myself in the Premier League.
So we're now going on to some questions from the Airdrie fans.
Right, okay.
Asked them on Twitter. So Craig DL asks, who did you hate playing against, and was there anyone in your own team that you trained with that you would have hated to come up against?
I must admit, way back, I didn't like playing against Paul Hartley. I thought Paul Hartley was, when he actually played in the middle of the park, but when he actually went to, he played wide right for Wraith Rovers. I know many people might remember that, but I thought he was a tough character. I thought Paul ended up signing with Hibs when I was there, and I thought he was a good character to play against, but he had a wee bit about him as well. And I remember I played the cup final against Rixon as well, and I thought he was a tremendous player. He again was one that I thought was a tough character, which you'll find a few very hard to find these days. And training, we you know what, I struggled at times training with, you'll just probably laugh, we Joe Cardo. We Joe was always a kind of cocky wee character, and rather than great skill with Joe, but obviously again it was all that laughy jokey come mick taking stuff, so which again, as you imagine, on my day when I'm not having my best of training days, then it could become a bit volatile. So wee Joe was quite a tricky character to play against, and as I said, it was the banter side of things as well that was quite tricky with him, and as I said, he ended up with two kicking good fettle, but not at the time.
And James Gillespie asks, do you have a favourite red card?
My favourite red card?
One that you would say, I'll take that all day.
I've got a worse red card. I've got that. That was the one against, which was a stupid tackle. It was again against Alba, and in the cup we ended up getting knocked out in penalties. And I think it was wee Bobby Lynn tackled on the byline, it wasn't a wise decision for me to make that tackle, and it was a stupid tackle to make, but it ended up knocking us out the cup, which was disappointing, and I was quite angry with myself, quite upset after that. But a favourite one, I can't remember too many. I think there's too many for me to try and recollect. No, I don't even know. No. I can't answer that, sorry.
And also Andrew Bryce asked on Twitter, in 2010 when we were relegated and went full-time to part-time, it was only really yourself and Scott Gemmell and a few youth players who stayed on.
Yeah.
Talk us through that. Why did you feel that you wanted to stay?
I just think at that time, I think I still had a wee bit to offer, and with experience and that kind of stuff to young boys, and it's always tough to leave a club, especially one that you've been at for a long time, and one that you love being at. I'm not saying that I overstayed my welcome, because I don't think I did, but I think it was, as I said, to leave. There was good kids coming through at that time as well. There was a good young squad, and they were just starting to get young Jamie Bain and that kind of stuff, Tony Watt coming through and stuff like that. So there was a good squad coming through, and I felt as if I knew the younger kids, and maybe they could have leaned on my experience maybe for that season, because it's tough to go from full time to part time and continue doing what you're doing. So I was hoping that maybe my experience could maybe lend a wee hand and see where we're at, and help these boys through, even as I said, one more season. But as I said, I stayed on, and for that reason, to try and support the younger guys. It's a club I love, so it wasn't a hard decision to make.
And from Kenny Mitchell, how did you become so good in the air for your height, and how do you coach improving the aerial ability?
Do you know, it's something that's probably stuck with me right. It did stick with me right through my career, and even when I came here, my boy's actually the exact same. My boy Lewis, he's actually the exact same. He's a bit taller than me, and a bit bigger, and he's a bit more powerful. But he's it's just a natural thing. I think my dad was, in his junior career, was good in there, and it's just about time for me. It's about timing, and times I'm picking up guys like Kevin James, and who's 6'7", and it's about just I think for me it's about timing, and for coaching these guys I think that again, and that's without being disrespectful to people, I think it's a dying art. Somebody that's good in the air, or somebody that's powerful in there, especially a kind of forward going thinking player, or whatever it may be. But as I said, I think it's a natural thing. But I said, my boy's immense in there, and I don't say that lightly, because I'm his hardest critic, as you can imagine. But he's got a great leap, and it's a weapon that in modern day football maybe doesn't get used as much as it should, because people think that hitting diagonals onto people, or long throw-ins, or all that kind of stuff, that shouldn't be part of the game. It should be passing the ball about, but being good in the air is a massive asset to any team, and especially if your defenders are like that. And as I said, forward going players, I played with a few guys that were decent in the air, and it causes all sorts of problems for people, and it's something that I've really enjoyed coaching it. I think it's about coming natural, and just telling people, listen, be confident in your own aerial ability, and there's not really a coaching session that you could put on to do that, but you just need, I suppose, to want to go and attack the ball the way it should be attacked.
And one last one from Kieran Bicknell: do you ever see yourself managing Airdrie, and what are your managerial aspirations?
I've been here, as I said, for a long time. I could have moved on we've been very successful as a club. We've came from the bottom division, we're back right into the top division, and we've as I said, we've did really well as a club. I've got ambition as anybody has, and if somebody like Airdrie came knocking, then that would be a massive and compliment and opportunity for me, and something that obviously I would never knock back. So never say never in football, but as I said, it's been a good it's a family club here. There has been, as I said, I have had the opportunity to move on, but I've never taken it to be a family club, but maybe Airdrie would be that step too far.
Coming to the end, we've got the quick fire round now. So, favourite team?
Favourite team? Benburn.
Favourite player?
Favourite player? Lewis Lovren.
Favourite game you played in?
Oh, tough one. Dunfermline away. 4-3. Yeah.
Pre-match meal?
Oh, it was always chicken and beans. Sometimes fish and beans.
And a post-match snack?
What post-match snack? Oh, wine gums.
Favourite meal?
Favourite meal, Indian.
TV show?
TV show, Friends. Film, Jaws. Band, oh, Deacon Blue.
Favourite song out of Deacon Blue then?
Dignity.
Karaoke song? Dignity again?
Dignity.
Drink of choice?
Drink of choice, lager. Or whiskey.
Favourite car?
Favourite car, Mercedes.
First car?
Cavalier.
Holiday destination?
Greece.
Best performance on the pitch?
Oh, best performance. Partick Thistle, and again the semi-final of the Alba Cup at Thistle.
Worst performance?
Oh, that tackle I tackled Bobby Lynn.
Your favourite teammate?
Favourite teammate? Oh.
Throughout your career, not just Airdrie.
Favourite teammate? That's a tough one. Alan McManus.
Big Choco.
Big Alan McManus.
Worst dressed that you've...
Tony Watt. His game is horrendous.
Longest in the shower?
Probably Alan Russell.
Favourite sport other than football?
Favourite sport? Snooker.
And now it comes to either or, so square or link?
Oh, square.
Scotch pie or steak pie?
Steak pie.
Messi or Ronaldo?
I was Ronaldo, but I'm Messi now.
Pep or Sir Alex?
Sir Alex.
Airdrie in the Premiership or Benburb in the SPFL?
Can I take both?
Let
me after that.
Night out or night in?
Nowadays, night in.
Tea or coffee?
Tea.
Who would win in a fight, you or Martin Hardy?
Me all day long.
Your inspiration in life and in football?
My dad.
Your dad. And the worst part about being a footballer?
Worst part about losing.
And we'll finish on a nice one. The best part about being a footballer?
Winning.
Paul, thanks very much.
No, you're welcome. Thank you very much.